Hey, good day, folks. Welcome to Andrew's Life. I hope everyone's doing great. I am here in Augusta, Georgia, visiting the city for my very first time. Hopefully, you guys can hear me clearly. I have my mic piece, but it broke, so I'm gonna try to talk a little louder. But yeah, I'm here at the Augusta Heritage Park. I'm walking along the side of the Homestead River. I wanted to visit the Riverwalk, but I believe you have to pay to visit the Riverwalk, or you got to pay to park, one of the two. And to be quite frank with you people, I really don't feel like paying for anything here. I mean, I don't mind paying a little bit of money to find someone that's willing to allow me to give them an interview about the storm or about the city. I haven't found no one yet, but if I did, I don't mind paying that, but I just don't feel like paying for much else. So I came here because it's free, it's nice outside, and my fat ass needs to walk around a little bit. So, and FYI, I have plenty of footage from the storm coming your way on my channel of here in Augusta, Georgia. And I will say, despite what you guys are getting ready to see, I think Augusta is a nice city. It's a little nicer of a city, at least appearance-wise, than what I thought. Obviously, I don't live here. I'm not from here. This is my very first time here, so just based off of my first impression, if I were to moved to Georgia and I had to live in a major city, this city would definitely be on my list. I'm gonna walk down here a little bit. I'm gonna try to find a place to where the wind is not as much. As you guys can see behind me, there's a full-size tree that broke by the root during the storm that they had a week or so ago. It's right behind me. I'll try to show you guys real quick. Alright folks, now that I told you guys where I was at and I showed you guys a little bit of the area where I'm walking on this video, now we're going to get to the video. Now today's video is going to basically be about, well, if you live down here in the south, wherever it is you live, it might be worth millions of dollars. Like if you live, I would say, in the deep south especially, or you live in the mountains of the Carolinas and even here in Georgia, your land might be worth, your land might be worth millions, if not trillions. Like apparently the reason why the government is being so evil towards the hurricane victims of the Carolinas and certain parts of Tennessee, I guess, is because they're trying to get these people to give up their properties for either pennies on a dollar or to just give up their property altogether. Because rumors, some people are speculating that the government is orchestrating this mass confusion and chaos for the victims intentionally, because the government wants to swoop in and be able to take as much of that land as possible without paying anything. Or if they got to pay, they're going to pay literally pennies on the dollar for that land in the mountains. Now, some of you guys might say that's crazy talk. The government can't get away with that. And although we all would like to think that, I don't think that's crazy talk at all. I can definitely, I'm not going to put it past the government to do some stuff like that. I mean, look at what happened to all the properties of the South. I can't pronounce it right, but look at what happened to all the properties of the South. If you go back and you study the history of many of the properties in the South that were owned by blacks, many of them were forced to give up their property to the government because before their elders passed away, their elders didn't know the process to pass down property from themselves to their offsprings. So as a result, they were forced to give up their property for basically they had to give their property away. Didn't get a dime off of the property. So yeah, look it up. It's called the Harris property. And same thing with the state of California. I mean, in the state of California, you had a lot of black property owners that, again, they didn't know the proper process to pass down property to their offsprings. So when their offsprings who adhere to the property try to, I guess, legalize everything, at some point the state government swooped in and they were legally able to take their property because the paperwork was not legit, I guess. In fact, just recently, the black community in California tried to get the state governor, I believe, to pass a law that would basically force the state to give back the property to all the black residents who basically have their property stolen by the state. But the state governor chose to not make that in the law. So basically, you got a lot of black property owners throughout the United States that have lost their property because their state government has found a loophole in the state law to basically be able to steal their property. So for those of you that live in areas to where you think your property ain't worth crap because you watch larger YouTube channels, or you might watch mainstream media sources talking about how dangerous your city is or how poor your region is. Like, let me give you all an example. Like, if you live in the black belt of Alabama, and I think it even extends into the state of Georgia, but if you live in the black belt region of Alabama, let's say, the black belt region of Alabama is one of the poorest regions of the United States. That's what many mainstream media sources will tell you, and that's what larger YouTube channels will tell you as well. So for those of you that are thinking about ditching for those of you that might own property in Alabama, and it ain't got to necessarily be the black belt, as far as I'm concerned, it could be anywhere in the state of Alabama. For those of you that own property in Alabama, obviously, it doesn't matter what race you are. My example was what it was because, well, anyways, let me keep on going. But anyhow, regardless of your race, if you own property in Alabama, your property is most likely worth millions, if not billions of dollars. So if you're one of these people that, you know what, you want to better yourself, you want to sell your property located in, let's say, the Black Belt region of Alabama, and you want to move somewhere in a larger city, you want to move to one of these newer developments where they're building all these new houses and condos, and you're looking at buying something like that. I mean, obviously, it's your money, it's your life, do what you do. But my suggestion is, don't fall for the hype. If you live in a region like the Black Belt of Alabama, keep your property. Because your property in the Black Belt, most likely, is going to be worth, millions, if not billions. And the reason why I say that is because when you take into consideration the amount of minerals that you will find in the soil throughout the state of Alabama, like you go to the Black Belt region, not only do you have darn near the right amount of minerals in that soil to grow basically whatever it is you want to grow, but you also have pretty close to the right type of climate as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if in the very near future, if it ain't already happening, you got your big wigs like Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and all the other multi-billionaire bigwigs that are going to states like Alabama, Georgia, Mississippi, and other southern states, to where you got a mixture of rich soil in a relatively mild climate, to where you can grow a lot of stuff, and your growing season is going to be 7 months out of the year or longer. So, for those of you that live in the Deep South, FYI, the next time you hear someone talking down on your area because economically it might not be the best, economically it might be poor, and then they show you all type of footage to where they driving through the hood, or they're driving through areas that are like super impoverished, although those areas do tend to plague that particular region of the United States. Just bear in mind, underneath all that is some extremely valuable soil full of minerals that are worth probably billions. Now, for those of you in North Carolina and South Carolina and Tennessee, I guess, that are struggling right now because FEMA is not doing what they're supposed to do, for those of you that are having a struggle through this mass chaos and confusion, I know it's easier said than done, but stay strong. Whatever you do, don't give up your property. I don't care if they tell you that your property is only worth $1. Do not give it up. Keep your property. Fight hard. Don't give your property up to these greedy individuals who are going to take your property and they're going to turn it into billions of dollars of profit, and then you're going to be out here in these streets homeless. And then when you need help of the government, as you all had the unfortunate to learn, your government is most likely not going to be there for you the way that you need them to be there for you, if at all. Now, some of the states that are said to be wealthy, such as, let's say, Massachusetts, I mean, economically, yeah, they're doing pretty good. Economically, yeah, they hit it out the park and been hitting it out the park. But when it comes to natural resources up there, I mean, I'm pretty sure they got some viable minerals up there, but not as many as what you'll have here in the Deep South. Not to mention that their growing season is going to be a lot shorter compared to here in the Deep South. And when you're looking at buying farmland and you're looking at getting into business, rather it be directly or indirectly, being a farmer, you need to have land that's full of minerals with a long growing season, kind of like what you have here in the deep south. So yeah, for those of you that are, like I said, for those of you, whether you're in the Carolinas, whether you're in down here in Georgia, stay strong. Whatever you do, don't give up your property. Whatever you gotta do to fix your house, fix it. Whatever you gotta do to keep your property, keep it. Don't let anyone tell you that your property ain't worth anything because of whatever reason. I mean, like where I live, we get a lot of tornadoes. Fortunately, I've not have to deal with one. Hopefully, it stays like that, but who knows? But best believe I'm not letting go of my property. I mean, so yeah. I just wanted to make this video just to help you guys out a little bit. I know they're only words, but for those of you guys that don't fully understand the game that your government is trying to play, just bear what I just said on this video in mind. Do not give up your property. I can almost guarantee that your property anywhere in the South, anywhere in the South period, I can almost guarantee your property is going to be worth more than any property that's up north. Because A, your property most likely has more minerals in the soil. And secondly, due to the milder climate, the growing season is going to be longer. Which, as I will keep saying, is a perfect combination for anyone that's wanting to get into the farming business, whether it be directly or indirectly. So that's all I gotta say on this one. Everybody stay blessed, stay strong, work together, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.